Okay, are we good to go?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, you guys. So excited to be here with Miss Natalie today. Natalie's incredible. She is a licensed esthetician and she is currently in her studio, which is beautiful. I just got a peek at it. And we're here today to talk just a little bit about Korean skincare in general, and how Riman, which is a Korean skincare line we're going to discuss, can fit into a professional atmosphere in different ways. So, Natalie, do you want to quickly just kind of give us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Natalie Bacon. I am 52. I live in Casper, Wyoming. I was a teacher. I had a photography business for 16 years. I've dabbled in network marketing. I've done it all. And I currently am an esthetician. I went through cancer a little over 2 years ago, and it kind of made me reevaluate my life and my goals. And I've always kind of been in skincare and makeup, and I resigned from my job, went to school, opened my studio in January. And in my town in Wyoming, I focus on Korean skincare. And I have actually just been loving it. So that's a little bit about me.
That's so awesome, Natalie. I have been just admiring you from afar through this whole journey. You're so amazing, and your skin
Oh,
is literally glowing, by the way.
thank you.
Looks so good.
Korean skincare.
Okay. Yes, I know it's the best, right? I should say before we carry on, I am not a skin professional, which is why I have Natalie here. I'm very excited for us to talk about this because I am just a consumer of Korean skincare, and I literally loved it so much. But Natalie is a professional, so just putting that out there. I use the Korean skincare religiously, but Natalie knows all about skin at a professional level. So I'm gonna ask her a few questions, and the first thing that I want to know, Natalie, is what gave you the desire to grow your skincare knowledge or your skin career into a professional level? What made you want to become an esthetician?
Well, I always have loved helping people. And like I said, I went through cancer myself. And when I went through radiation and chemo, my skin barrier was just so compromised. I had tried all kinds of skincare, prescriptions that the doctors gave me, and I wish I would have had the skincare then. Um, so, like I said, in my life, I kind of reevaluated where I wanted to be. And somebody told me about this amazing company, and that kind of like pushed me into changing a career. I'm also oncology certified, which means that I can work with patients that are going through cancer or have just finished treatment. So I really just wanted to give back and be there. I have a holistic approach, so I also do a lot of pampering, a lot of massage, different modalities that are Korean. So it's kind of a whole experience.
Oh, I love that. I don't know if I think you did tell me that you had that special, what did you call it? For
It's
cancer.
oncology. It's an oncology esthetician certification.
Yeah, that's cool. I think you told me about that. Was that like an additional course or was that something?
It was through Oncology International, and it was an online course that was several hours.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot of it I actually knew just because I have experienced cancer myself, but
yeah.
you really learn how to work with people that have compromised skin barriers, because going through treatment, they're very sensitive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
Yeah.
was what I did.
I love that you've used your experience with cancer, that journey, which I can't even imagine. But you're really using that for good. Like you're bringing light to help during those seasons through your studio, which is amazing. There's people that need
Thanks.
what you're doing. I love that. Um, okay, so before we dive into like Remon and how you're using it maybe in and around your studio, I want to hear just like quickly your personal testimony with the Remon skincare products and Derm line, which is Remon's skincare. What about it did you love? What kind of transformation or testimony do you have with the products, just you alone? outside of your business?
So, like I said, my skin has always been dry, like
Yeah.
really dry. And I grew up in Michigan, which was humid. Even there, I was dry. Here in Wyoming, it's super dry. I've used all kinds of skincare. I've used high-end skincare. I've used drugstore. I wasn't a very good person being consistent when I was young with my skincare. And after going through treatment, it was even drier. Things that was using wasn't working. And you become really aware of all the toxins in our skin care because our skin is our largest organ. Also, all the toxins in everything that we eat and whatnot. And so I didn't really know a whole lot about Korean skincare. And then I took a deep dive into it and realized that really they are about 10 years ahead of our us as far as technology. They have a very different approach to it. It's most of them are all like plant-based. They avoid over 3,000 toxins that we don't avoid in the United States. So for me, that was, really important. I was super dry. I had a super dry spot in between my eyebrows before I started Riman that would not go away. It didn't matter what I did. I was like, I'm going to have to do some super extreme
Yeah.
treatment. And I ordered the skincare, and within 2 days of using that cream, that spot was gone. It has
Wow.
never come back.
Wow.
I stopped getting Botox. I haven't gotten Botox in over a year. I'm not saying that, I'm not telling people what to do, but for me personally, I'm like, that's just another thing and another cost. And my skin has just been amazing. I've seen, reduction in fine lines, reduction in hyperpigmentation, overall brightness. I always have a glow. I mean, that's what people are like say immediately to me. They're like, your skin glows. And I haven't worn makeup in over a year other
Yeah.
than mascara. Not because I don't like makeup, just because I feel so great about my skin. And at 52, I'm like, that's fine. I'm gonna go without makeup. So it's just been a really great hydrating skincare for me, and it's made me feel more confident about myself.
I love that. I love that. You do not look 52 at all. I don't even think I knew your age. So I was kind of like taken back when you said
I'll
that.
be 53 in May.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah,
Oh,
you
thanks.
look awesome. I can still resonate with the same experience as far as the makeup and just the skin transformation. It's been amazing with Rimmon. So if you had to pick for you personally, I know this is a really hard question, but if you had to pick one product from the Incel Derm line from Rimmon that would be your favorite, what is it and why?
It would be the EX cream because it is so hydrating. It helps with skin tightening, fine lines, hydration. It gives you that glow. I mean, I give out samples of that to all of my clients after their facials.
Yeah, it's
It's
so good.
amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. I actually had, of all skincares I've ever used, I did have a moisturizer that I thought was the holy grail, like the best moisturizer ever.
Mhm.
And I actually thought, even when I started dipping my toes into Korean skincare, I actually thought that that one moisturizer was going to stay in my routine despite changing everything else. But I was wrong. The X cream, it's like when I didn't think a moisturizer could get better, it just did.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
good.
it is. It's amazing. And you only need such a small amount. That's another thing that I love. I sorry, I'm like stuttering. I say I should get this on a shirt. You only need a pea size. Because it literally you only I tell people that all the time. You only need a pea size of literally everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's hilarious because I was actually just sharing this skincare with somebody. We were walking through it together, a group of people, and I actually said, "You just need like a pea or a pea and a half." And then I was like, "Did I really just say pea and a half? Like, could I have just said a pea or two peas?"
Yeah.
But yeah, that's hilarious. You do need that shirt. That'd be so fitting. I love that. Okay, so we're gonna move into kind of more of like a professional standpoint. Speaking from your licensed esthetician view of things. Because I know not one shoe fits all. Like I think we know that. But so we're gonna kind of start dabbling into that conversation now. And to start, I want to know with Remon from a professional standpoint, what product excites you the most? Like, so not necessarily your favorite as far like the X cream, it might be the same answer, but not your own personal testimony experience, but is there a certain product or even little bit of a line that like what excites you the most about Riman?
That is a really hard question, because I would say that the EX cream would be the one that excites me the most, for people. But I will tell you the product that I use in every single facial is the Pure Cell cleansing oil.
Yeah.
That is my first cleanse. I use it for massage. I use it for massage on arms, hands. Hands down, that is my favorite. Everyone loves how it feels. They love it smell. It doesn't have like a heavy fragrance. It is so versatile, and in the value. I mean, like it's $30 for a bottle. Like I mean, I'm almost out of a bottle at this is 3 months of using one in every single facial that I have with hand, arm massage, everything.
That is awesome. I love that so much. That cleanser is incredible. I get
Hmm.
that feedback from friends as well and the customers that they have never used an oil cleanser like that. I
Yeah.
love it so much. Okay, this is a great segue into the next question. So I am sure in your studio you obviously aren't exclusively using Remon because you have license for products that like I cannot buy.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but like in general, estheticians can get medical treatment. You know, there's a huge, I'm sure there's a huge lineup of products that professionals use. Um, are there any products that you do use in your like paid for facials from Remon or which line products? How are you using them in your studio? How are you using these products in your studio?
Okay. So yes, I do have other professional Korean treatments. Each person that comes in, I individualize their facial, but the standalone is I always use the Pure Cell cleansing oil. Um, Most people, I'll use the EX cream at the end, unless it's a treatment that has a moisturizer that kind of like goes hand in hand. Um, Sometimes I will use the active cleanup powder because it's a really great gentle enzyme. I mix it with water and it gets fluffy, and I apply it with a brush. I have used the serum. Um, yeah, I mean, and actually I've used the collagen masks.
Oh, really?
So yes. So depending on what I have different tiered treatments. So like a basic treatment I've actually used the whole line. Like I use the cleansing oil, I use the active cleanup powder, I use the calming gel, I used the serum, I used the cream, I did a collagen melting mask, and then afterwards she was glowing. She was like, my skin feels like really tight and firm. And I said, yeah, that's so so yeah, I use a few of the products always. And most of my clients that are coming in, this is the first time they've ever had a facial.
Mhm.
Um, and the majority of them are not using any skincare at home. So some have, like a combination of things. And some are just like, I use water, or I use Dove soap, or I use castor oil. I don't push products on them when they come the first time. But I am now giving out samples. So I do have products for sale here. But I do, like, if I know that they don't have a skincare line at all, and their skin is not compromise. I'm giving them a sample of the EX cream for like 5 days, and they're getting a brochure with my QR code. They can order online. They can come and order from me. Um, so that's one of the ways. But yeah, you can totally use these products in facials. You just need to make sure you know what their skin type is like.
Yeah, I love that. So do you feel like for the most part, and again, I don't ever want to categorize everybody into one group. Do you feel like for the most part that Riman products are pretty inclusive for between visits with you for your clients, like, and how maybe also to add to that, how important is it that your clients are incorporating skincare into their routine between visits to see you? Like, what kind of difference does that make?
Yeah, I do think that it is an amazing line to be able to use for home care because, like I said, a lot of people don't use anything. And so you can select some products for them to start with. I have a lot of people who are like, I don't stick with things. I don't want to have a big, huge thing, a big, huge routine. So, you can literally start them out with a cleanser and some moisturizer. Um, and then what? I totally forgot the other
Yeah.
question.
No, that was good. I was just saying
Oh,
the importance of like,
oh yeah.
I feel
So
like it's
I
important.
mean, you've probably heard that saying, like, at home skin, your home skincare is 80%, your facials is 20%.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is important. Um, but I have clients that are not consistent with home care and they come in for facials anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I actually hadn't heard that. I kind of wondered I mean, I assumed that it was like if you want to get the most out of your facial from your professional, then you should probably be tending to your skin daily. But I hadn't actually ever heard that.
Yeah. And just for an example, I had someone come in for facial in January, and I did a treatment on her. Nothing crazy, but a Korean treatment. And she left glowing. Loved the glow. And the thing she said was, I miss the glow. And I talked to her about, home care products from Riman. So then she came in for a facial last week and we did a treatment. And she ended up buying the experience kit and the pure cell oil because she's like, I want the glow that you have. And I'm like, this is where you need to start. So, so yeah, I think they're great products. I think that you have the option of, starting them on a few things. But it is important. And I would say, even if you're not going to get your clients on any products, sunscreen is like the most important.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Figured it was between sunscreen or cleansing, but yeah, cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you like the Rimmon Insult Derm Sun SPF?
I do. I personally love it. I use it daily and I really like it. I have had no issues with it at all. It works really well for me. And I'm tan because I was in the Dominican.
Yeah,
So, and I use it every single day there.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm proud of you for that. I'm sure after your esthetician school, I always joke, it's not really funny, but how once I started using Rimmon and I started learning about kind of the Korean approach to skincare and skin health, one of their main tenets is protection.
Right.
And they use SPF every day, and I'm like, I'm a big girl now. I started using SPF all summer and I never did because I'm not one to really burn and I
Yeah.
wanted to tan. And so many years of my life, I would just be like, bathing in the sun, hoping to
Oh,
get the
yeah.
best tan ever. And so,
Me
uh,
too.
yeah, well, I grew up and I'm proud to say that I'm over a year in of wearing SPF in the sun.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but all we can do now is laugh about our mistakes.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so speaking of Korean traditions, I don't know if this is rooted in the Korean skincare approach or if I just began hearing about it, but in the Korean tradition of skincare, double cleanse is very well known. It seems to be a very common, if not all the time, approach, the double cleanse. Is that like a new thing, or what are your thoughts on double cleansing? I would love to hear that because that was new for me and I think it's been impactful, but what's with double cleansing?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's new. I mean, I think it's definitely a I don't know if it's necessarily a Korean approach because I do know that most estheticians double cleanse. Um, I didn't before I started using Riman. And I do now. And I also do, I actually do the double cleanse in all facials. So I always start out with the oil cleanser. I do a lot of massage. I might do some gua sha or um, using some kind of, tools. And then I will mix up like a foamy cleanser. Um, and I will apply that with brushes. And sometimes it's the active cleanup powder. You could also use the snow enzyme. Um, I usually use a very gentle gel-based cleanser because, like I said, most of my clients, this is the first time they're coming in, so I don't want to make their, skin irritated. But for me personally, I use the Pure Cell oil for double cleansing at home. So I traditionally have very dry skin, and it has also been sensitive. So I cleanse with the oil cleanser and then I cleanse again. So your first cleanse is taking off your makeup or your SPF or any um, harmful toxins that are in the air, or even when you wake up in the morning, because I know a lot of people that don't wash their face in the morning. When you've been sleeping all night in your bed, and if you have pets or dander or anything like that, it gets on your face. So you still need to cleanse your face in the morning. And then I'll go in, and your second cleanse is really what is really getting those pores cleaned out. The first one is just kind of taking off everything that's on the surface. The second cleanse is really your deep cleanse, whether that's using, a gentle cleanser twice, or, I suggest using the exfoliants if you're using the snow enzyme or the active cleanup. Really, unless you're oily, you only need to use it 1 to 2 times a week, because even though it's gentle, over exfoliating can strip your barrier.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, good to know. I do love that snow enzyme cleanser so much though, but yeah,
It is nice.
it is nice. I get a lot of feedback on that one, but I agree. The Pure Cell oil cleanse is just so amazing. I would love to see Remon come out with like a gentle gel cleanser.
Yeah, me
Awesome.
too.
Yeah. Okay, so I could literally pick the brain of an esthetician all day because while I don't have a license and while I'm not a skin professional, obviously I really do care about the skin and I've grown such a desire to learn. So we could talk about skin all day and I could learn a lot from you. But back on track to Remont and business.
Okay.
We don't talk all day. How have you personally seen Remont a good fit in and around your professional business? How has this, is it supplementing your career? Are you feeling like it's just a great fit in your studio alongside some of your other holistic or Korean lines? How is it working? How has it been a good fit in your studio?
It's been a really good fit because I know the products and the ingredients so well that I know exactly what to recommend. And so, yeah, I'm not going to lie, while I was going to school, it definitely supplemented most of my income. I also, have an online presence, so I'm able to sell, like, a majority of my customers are not even here. So that gives me an additional income. And as an esthetician, like, I know a lot of other estheticians who are like working part-time jobs. They're, doing working, house sitting or pet sitting or working at a bar, or they're doing, marketing, or they're doing something. So it gives you another additional income. The products are amazing. They own their patents, which was huge for me. So like I said, I know the products. I make a commission. So there's different ways that you can make money. I mean, you don't necessarily have to retail the stuff in your store or your studio. I do. Um, I mean, I don't have tons of inventory, and you don't have to keep inventory, but there are different ways that they've made it available for you to make an income. Has made it really easy for me to be able to have products and make like a pure commission off of them. So
That's
did that
awesome.
answer your question?
Yeah, it really did. It really did. So you're
Yeah.
you're selling some product, I'm assuming alongside other brands of skincare, right?
Currently, I am not retailing any other skincare.
That,
I'm not saying that I'm not going to at some point,
yeah.
but the price point is so good and the quality is so amazing that for me, and where I'm at with the company, I get my products pretty much free, and then I can retail them and make, the profit. So a lot of professional lines, the suggestion for esthetician is that you buy the product and then you double the price for retail. I do not personally double prices of Riman in my studio. I know some estheticians that do, and that's a personal choice. My reasons are because I start out giving them a sample and a brochure. And then if they come back and they want to buy like a product that I have, most all of them set up a customer account. I don't want my customers to go online and see that they were charged more than what they could buy it for. That's how I do it. But I do know another esthetician that retails Riman, and how she does it, which I thought was kind of cool. She has products, and if she sells, like, for example, a snow enzyme for $25, she lets them know, like she'll charge more. I don't know how much she charges for it, but she'll let them know, you can set up a customer account and buy it directly right now for cheaper if you set up a customer account, or if you want it today, you're going to buy it for this price. So there's lots of different ways that you can do it. Um, I just prefer to not, like, I'm not going to charge a hundred and, what would it be? $140 for an EX cream. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to do that, I would be buying like some professional,
Yeah.
stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I have some medical grade Korean skincare from a line that is very well known in Korea. And it just happens to go with the treatment that I do. And I have used just the moisturizer by itself, and it's nice, but I will tell you, it is not any different than the EX cream. Like,
Really.
I personally, in my experience, which, other estheticians have their own opinions. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be buying that and retailing it for, $150 when the EX cream is doing the job for me.
Yes. I love it.
So,
Um is it 30 million bottles of that EX cream that they sold in Korea?
yeah, yeah,
That award-winning moisturizer. And this is why, I mean, Natalie's talked about it several times. I've talked about it being like the best I ever used.
yeah,
That's why, like, it is truly so good that, like,
yeah. Well, and here's one more thing that I wanted to add, because I know that maybe estheticians are going to watch this. And this is another kind of way that I think about it. So I have a lot of clients that come in that, don't use skincare or use soap, or they buy their skincare at Ulta. So, and maybe if I lived in a big, huge metropolitan area, I could carry some really high-end professional
mm,
skincare, that, was like 200 and some dollars for, a bottle. I can't, not
yeah,
here in Little Wyoming. So for me, I would rather sell them this clean Korean skincare that I know is effective, that reaches deeper into the cells, than most skincare, than at an affordable price, than have them go to Walmart or Ulta and buy something that they have absolutely no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good because skincare, I feel like skincare is way more trending in general
yeah,
now than it ever was. It used to be a means to like, get rid of acne or whatever, but I think people really are tapping into self-care and taking care of their skin. The
yeah.
problem with that I can see is that there is a surplus of stuff out there. And how would one, like myself, just a consumer, without doing research, not just be inclined to buy like a pretty bottle? Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
would you,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
so much.
the TikTok trends are what's getting me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of those.
Don't follow the TikTok trends. Even when I went to esthetician school, my instructor was like, "No, don't
Yeah,
get on there. Don't listen to that."
that's funny. Yeah. Um, okay, so let's see. I had something I was gonna ask you from your response there. Oh no, I was just gonna say in my experience from going to see, I only see an esthetician once a year.
That's
And
okay.
right or wrong, I really don't know. I also live in a very rural area, and so I didn't grow up seeing an esthetician. I didn't necessarily have skin problems that led me to one. I just actually began seeing one over the last several years when I got into sharing about some makeup. So I was just trying to find the best version of my skin that I could. So adding an esthetician appointment 1 to 2 times a year felt like the right thing. And it was, I mean, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
However, all my in between sessions, I was using skincare that was really not doing anything. So I'd have really nice, soft, fresh skin from her. But then after a few weeks, it was just like kind of back to my normal, which was whatever.
right.
So Riman actually has changed that completely. I've
Yeah,
unlocked,
your skin is amazing.
it's crazy. And I'm not proud of this because I love what you do. I love what estheticians do. I find it so intriguing and so valuable. But I actually haven't seen an esthetician in the last year because nothing has like inclined me to it necessarily.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my skin has just gotten better and better and better. I do want to go see one soon. I wish you were closer to me. I do feel it's just finding the time. But what I was getting at, when I would go see her, I would want her to use products on my face that I can't just go buy at the store out of her professional licensed opinion. I would want that. That would be why
Mhm.
I would go see a professional.
Right.
And so I love that you're utilizing products that you know from your professional training are very beneficial in your facial, but then also honoring the price point of Rimmon and the efficacy of Rimmon and acknowledging that it's a great at-home skincare routine
Yeah.
for most people.
Yeah.
I do love that. I love what you're doing with it in that way. So, um, also, actually, never mind. We don't even need to go there. I can get so chatty. Okay, next question. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. I think we kind of talked about this just like unintentionally a little bit, but from your experience now and learning about skin, and also learning about Korean skincare and the Korean kind of culture or approach to skincare. Do you feel like there's anything that we can learn over here in the US um, from the Korean approach to healthy skin or skincare?
Yeah, we need to all start using like SPF daily when we're little. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing is using an SPF and moisturizer, cleansing, protecting, hydrating, which we don't teach our kids that. I mean, I didn't teach my kids that. I didn't learn that myself. So I think they definitely, it's a heritage tradition that and that's why their skin looks so amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I've learned a lot. I know personally, I always say, like, I'll talk to you about skin. I'm not a professional, I'm not licensed, but I have dove into for the last year Korean traditions, what they're doing with their skincare products, what
Yeah.
they're doing with their approach, not even just their products, but even their approach to skincare, all the way to the self-care approach. They were very, very
Yeah.
wholesome about it. And I think
Hmm.
for me, that was something I could learn was just to be more wholesome about how you approach skin and self-care, skin health and self-care.
Right.
And it's interesting that you say SPF because that to me, that is actually the no-brainer, is the SPF. But for me, one thing I think is really interesting and cool is how young they're taught, like you just said, to just take
Yeah.
care of their skin. And
Hmm.
in the US, we're so reactive. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, I spent my whole life not doing that, but now I got sunspots. What can you do to remove those immediately? We get really reactive.
Right.
Point of sometimes overusing likely harsh chemicals
Yeah.
and things. And so while I definitely see that there's a time and there's a place and a choice to utilize tools that maybe aren't the greatest for you, but in a season, if you need them, you need them. However, I
Right.
also, not but and I think that we should learn from them to be more proactive so we don't have to be reactive. Do you feel like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I take a very holistic approach talking to people about their gut health and their stress and
Mhm.
what they're doing, taking care, how they're taking care of their skin. And yes, I personally have never had any treatments done that were you know invasive, where there was recovery time. And like you said, there is a time and place for that. And I'm not saying, that's bad.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, I do know I have clients who have had um, invasive treatments that the results was minimal, and it was only for a short time because you have to continue to do those treatments
Mhm.
to see the results, where you could just be consistent with some skincare and taking care of your skin and preventing, skin cancer and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. I love that. All right, I have one more question. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So assuming that skin professionals will see this video later, which is kind of a part of why Natalie and I decided to do this, is because I'm not really equipped to speak to a professional in a ingredient kind of way, or even in a knowledge of skin kind of way, just self-taught here. And Natalie's the actual pro. So from your professional standpoint, if a skin professional of any sort was looking at the Riman business opportunity, what would you say? What kind of conversation would that look like? What do you encourage them to do or
I definitely make sure that they are aware of the patents, because for me that was huge. Like, knowing that the ingredients in these products no other skincare line has, that they source their own ingredients, they have their own plant, they have their own ask lab, um, that they have everything. Because, and I didn't know this, a year ago, but you can buy some, and I know this because I read the book, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's from the lady who created It Cosmetics.
oh yes.
She created the Bye Bye Under Eye, and she
Yes.
was selling it on QVC, and she did not own the patent. And another big name company created the exact same thing,
Wow.
sourced with her same ingredients, and was selling it. So there can be two products that have the exact same ingredients but different names,
Mhm.
when you go to Ulta or whatever, because companies, are sourcing their ingredients from the same places. So that was important for me. Um, Knowing that, you can join for $20 and earn a commission and have something that you can provide that's non-toxic and has really great results, and has the efficacy is there. Um, and knowing that this can be an addition to what you're already providing. Too many estheticians I know are like, I'm not offering anything that my clients could go and get themselves. And
Mhm.
I just feel like that's really, for me, that approach is not good, because if your clients are going to find it, they're going to go and buy stuff at Ulta or Sephora. So why don't you provide something that's affordable, that is results driven, instead? And then it's just an additional income on top of what you're already doing. I just feel like I don't know. I don't like to gatekeep. So, um, it works for me. That's kind
Mhm.
of what I would tell people. And this company is amazing, and they have so many new products, and they have so much science backed behind it, and have won so many awards, and it's germa tested. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I say. And you can't convince people, but I think
Yeah.
it's a great choice.
That's awesome. I think your integrity and your actual care for your clients shows in the way you speak because in your line of work, the purest version really wants the customer to be very confident in their own skin and find what works the best for them. And so regardless of, this or that, I think the truth behind you really wanting them to experience the best version of that is so clear. So I admire that about you, Natalie. But that's all I have. So I was just gonna say if anyone is watching this, wherever you end up watching this, feel free to comment questions. Between Natalie and I'm sure we can get responses for you. Natalie from a professional a perspective, and me from just a Korean skincare loving guru perspective, because I have self-taught a lot. But Natalie, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really value, appreciate you and all that you and everyone in your line of work do. I think it's a really, really important line of work. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm always happy to talk to anybody or answer any questions.
awesome. All right, Natalie, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kristen.
Bye.
Bye.